just jumping right in. Looks like Taggerson has tagged his opponent with his name. I hear the sounds of prologue. I think the commentary stream might be frozen right now. The prologue basically just teaches you your dash. And the main movements of this game are the dash, the climb, and the jump. And they're going to be combined in various ways to move very quickly through some of these levels. Going to start right off with Forsaken City. Basic level, one of the shortest levels of the game. World record for this level is just under a minute. Unfortunately, I can only guess what's happening right now. We're having some edges to the commentary stream, but I can tell you that we will be seeing the runners make their way through these levels with various speed mechanics, usually done by dashing and then jumping, either along the ground, a dash and then a jump along the ground, or a dash up against a wall and then a jump. And these can be combined in various ways to give you momentum and keep your momentum as they fly along these screens. The zippers that you just heard are one of the features of City, where when you grab them, activate them, by landing on them or grabbing them, they move along a path, and you can get momentum from those moving blocks that will send you flying if you use them correctly. Pretty much every moving object in this game can give you momentum in one way or another, and we're going to see a lot of that used by these runners. Sounds like the runners have just finished Chapter 1. Oh, looks like the race is going to be restarted because of the issues with the commentary stream. So hang on tight, people. Consider that a warm-up. I hope you appreciate my attempts at blind commentary. All right, looks like both runners saw that we're restarting the race, so there won't be any awkwardness there, so that's nice. By the way, big props to the Speed Gaming team for all the support, setting up this tournament, and just being so great. And I am seeing movement down on the commentary stream, so that is a good sign. Although it did stop again, so hopefully that's just temporary. Just coordinating with the Speed Gaming staff to make sure that this is going to work okay. So just stand by, people. This is going to be an awesome race. Just give us a couple of minutes to work out these issues. No problem. So yeah, the Speed Gaming staff is just asking me to pass on that, yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. We will be back underway very soon. So don't change that channel. Don't touch that dial. You know how that goes. Could see this as a decent opportunity to explain a little bit more in depth what this game is about and what we're going to be seeing. So as I said, Celeste's game, you're a girl trying to climb a mountain. And mountain has interesting properties in which it kind of brings out the darker parts of yourself, the reflection of yourself that you may not want to deal with, some problems, whatever, your fears, your inner demons. So the climb to the summit is both a challenge for the platforming, and it's also we get a challenge from sort of the psychological viewpoint of the character. And it's a decent story, and it's a really good game casually. I mean, this is my first Speed game I've ever played. And I only got into it because I loved the game casually so much. I mean, I never even really heard of speedrunning before. I mean, I've heard of it, but just as kind of a fringe thing, kind of weird, bunch of weirdos trying to shave off milliseconds of Super Mario Bros. Or something. But anyway, yeah, apparently speedrunning community is pretty awesome. Really glad I got into it. Really positive people, a great community, and the game is just really, really fun. I mean, both casually and in the speedrun. It's just really fun. So, props to Matt Nix Games for making such a great game. Just catching up on chat now. Hey, my fellow weirdos. So for anyone who was able to catch Chapter 1, could probably go a little bit more into some of the speed tech, because it's pretty hard to talk about when the run is really underway and there's a lot of stuff going on. So as I said, most of the speed tech comes from basically getting yourself a lot of momentum, either by using moving objects in the environment, or more commonly by dashing and then jumping. And the thing about dashing and jumping is that you lose your speed a lot faster on the ground than the air. So basically, if you're in the air, you're going to be decelerating a lot slower. So a lot of the speed tech in this game is based around just trying to get a lot of speed and then trying to stay in the air as long as possible, so that the dragging along the ground doesn't slow you down too much. So there's a lot of aerial movement. We're going to see some really cool hops and jumps and just some really neat movement by these players. Like one of the big kind of things that chain together a lot of these moves is called the bunny hop, and it's basically just a simple jump, but it tends to be a jump that happens when you're going at high speed, and it just lets you keep the momentum. It looks like the stream seems to be in better shape now, so I think we'll probably be starting pretty soon. The runners are just practicing. Just to give you a little hint of what's to come. Another very cool thing about this game is just the variation of the mechanics in the game. There are 7 chapters in total, and pretty much almost every chapter introduces a lot of new stuff. Like, not just one new mechanic, but, at least 2 or 3 in each chapter. And sometimes you get, mechanics from old chapters coming back in. So, while I would say, like, this game, it is a precision platformer, it's not quite as precise as, say, a game like maybe Super Meat Boy, where all you have is, like, your jump and your wall jump, and it just comes to, like, frame perfect, pixel perfect, like, decisions on exactly how to start and release your jump and stuff like that. There's a little more movement involved. There's grabbing, there's jumping, there's dashing, and there isn't that many like frame and pixel perfect movement involved. But it's really just about the execution and chaining them together in the right ways to move through these screens fluidly, as quickly as possible. It looks like we are getting started in just a moment here. Getting this psyched. This should be good. If both players play like their PBs, which you never know in a race, but hopefully they will, or better, this will be very close and fun to watch. I mean, it should be fun to watch even if it's not close, but I hope it's close for both the player's sake and the audience's sake, because it's always fun. I think the runners are just about ready to start. Probably just waiting on that countdown right now. It's actually kind of nice to be able to give a sort of a lengthy introduction before things really get started, because this game moves very quickly. All right, here we go. So we start off with the prologue. The main thing to watch here is just we have the bird here teaching you how to climb. The runners here are going to be jumping a lot, just because every single jump you make saves about 2 frames over just walking. Quick cutscene skip there. Oh no, the bridge is collapsing. All right. Nice deathless prologue from both players, and now the bird teaches you how to dash. There we go. Little tutorial teaching you all your basic movement. And a nice little inspirational message there as well. That's the one unskippable cutscene of the game, is the section telling you you can do this. Started now in Forsaken City. Right away, with the speed tech from these players, we got dash jumps, dashing along the ground and jumping. We got wall bounces, dashing up along a wall and then jumping to get that big vertical momentum. We're seeing just on Tidal's screen right there, he totally skipped the intended way of doing that screen by just doing a wall bounce off of that zipper. The reverse hyper from Taggerson to get clear over those spikes. Both runners really neck and neck right now. Some crumbling blocks there, no problem. Taggerson just doing a wave dash, Tidal doing the same, over that big gap. Don't even have to use that zipper. So with this, with the hyper dash, which is that long horizontal dash across the ground, if you time it correctly, you can do that dash and still get your dash back, which lets you cross huge distances. Taggerson finishing Chapter 1 with a very respectable less than 2-minute total time. Let's see, I didn't quite catch the time on that IL, but that was a very nice time. And Tidal just coming up right on his heels, though about 10 seconds behind right now. All right, Taggerson starting right where he left off, but he's in a dream sequence right now. This is Chapter 2 called Old Sight. So first he ventures into the depths of this castle. We see some nice skips of the casual way to do this room by using that extended hyper dash, just going right under all those big sections of wall jumps. And here we have the dream blocks, which you dash through. They're like jelly, space jelly. You dash through them, you go straight out the other side. If there's solid wall on the other side, then you're in trouble. Then you die. Taggerson did this. We just saw it on title screen. There's the one glitch in this game, really. It's called. It's just isn't even really a name for it. It's just a cutscene skip glitch where you can sort of move your position horizontally and teleport yourself right into that dream block to save yourself a second or two. Both Tidal and Taggerson now in the battle and chase section of Chapter 2. They're being chased by the dark part of themselves, who is on a 3-second delay but otherwise copies all of their actions. So if you're going slow, she'll go slow. If you're going fast, she'll go fast. So you gotta watch out. Not really a problem until the last couple screens, where you actually have to backtrack a little bit. Ooh, Taggerson getting a little caught up there, attempting that downward dash, and ending up taking a death at the end of a long room. Deaths in this game are a lot more punishing at the end of long rooms because when you die, you generally get teleported back to the beginning of the screen. So the longer that room is, and the later you die in it, the worse that death is. Taggerson is basically out of danger now. He has passed the chase. Now all that's left for him in Chapter 2 is this long, very movement-based section. It's a little harder for the speedrun than it appears. There isn't actually any lethal danger, but there are a lot of things that can stop your momentum in its tracks. Just getting yourself caught up on a ledge or on a spring like he just did there. But he recovered pretty nicely. We're seeing some ultra dashes from these runners in this section a little bit. Ultras are when you have hyper speed and you do a downward diagonal dash, and it just kind of changes that speed. Speed is uncapped, and that's a great way to get sort of that uncapped speed. It's a pretty advanced strat, so you usually only see it sprinkled in by the higher level runners. Tidal still finished up the Awake section, that last section, but he's not too far behind Taggerson, who is now entering the Celestial Resort. This is Chapter 3. He just grabbed a key to open that door, so he actually used a screen transition to refresh his dash there in order to get that key without using the normal route. Very nice movement through those cycles. Celestial Resort, basically full of these cycles with these dust bunnies moving around in circles, moving back and forth. If you touch them, you're dead, so you got to avoid them. Another little interesting thing about this section is that if you die in a room, the cycles that the dust bunnies are on are going to be a little bit different than if you just enter the room. So sometimes runners will want to learn 2 different strats for a room in case they end up dying. Sometimes it doesn't matter as much. Or you might see some runners sometimes either restarting at the beginning of a room in order to catch the death cycle they may be more familiar with, or you might see them leave and re-enter a room in order to catch the entrance cycle if they're not used to the death cycle. So we'll see what these runners choose to do. Taggerson definitely has a pretty solid lead at this point. Though it's not that much. It's definitely still reversible. But he's just finishing out the reception section right now. He's about to enter the huge mess. Tidal still going for that key. This is huge mess. Pretty tricky room to move around in. Very cluttered, very cramped. The goal of this section is to clean up this mess. There are going to be 3 buttons that they have to push, and oh wow, almost a retry there from Taggerson. That would have been disastrous, but he managed to avoid doing that. Just on a side note, the skip cutscene button in this game is on the same menu position as retry, which basically kills you. So if you don't hit that cutscene trigger and you try to skip the cutscene, you're just going to commit suicide instead. So that's not something that you want to do. All right, Taggerson just hit the first button. He's on his way to the other 2. And Tidal also just now making his way into that section where he's going to hit the first button. So Taggerson about 1 sort of third of this section ahead. Ooh, taking a death there. Tidal trying to do, oh, he got it on the second try. A little spike jump. We call it a spike jump. It's actually just a wall jump off the spikes. Neat little speed tech. It's only used in a couple places, but it saves some time. This area is pretty neat in terms of game design, because every section you clear out, you'll see that the corresponding blocks disappear, and that actually makes the following sections a little bit harder because there are less platforms and walls to bounce off of, and there's a little more hazards. Speedrunners tend to have a pretty set route for this section, just because of the positioning of Oshiro, the hotel manager at the end of each section that you need to talk to in order to progress. Taggerson took a quick death there, not a very costly one. And he just pushed his third button, so he's going to be grabbing the key from the middle of Huge Mess, which is not a huge mess anymore, and he's going to be heading right into the elevator shaft, as Tidal goes for that third button now, so still pretty close behind. Still a close race. Taggerson, nice work with that, very nice ultra from the elevator shaft into this room. Very long room here, can be punishing if you die. Let's hope Taggerson can get it. He died at the end there. This can be a pretty rough room. He got the wall bounce this time. There, all the way through. And Tidal now joining him in elevator shaft. Tidal making up some time now because of a few deaths by Taggerson there. Here we have Taggerson is entering the room. Very nice chained hypers there. That room is actually very difficult casually. I'd argue it's even easier to do the 4 hypers in that room to get through it. He did that perfectly. Once you grab the key, you can just retry and death warp back to the beginning because keys stick with you after death. Revolution in chat is reminding us that the postcard for this chapter says that be proud of your death count. It means you're learning. Very true, especially in a game like this. Taggerson has entered the Oshiro section of the game. Oshiro, the bad part of yourself has pissed him off, and he is now chasing you because you call this hotel a jump. So he charges you horizontally across the stream. And the challenge is just getting through these levels, getting through these cycles without getting hit by him. Tidal just following on his heels into the Oshiro section. Taggerson now in the last room of Oshiro. Very long room here. Let's see if he can do it in one go. It's a very punishing room if you die, just because of its length, as I mentioned before. And he does it no problem. Very nice chapter 3. I'm not getting great resolution here, so I can't tell what his time actually was, but I think that was a very good chapter 3 by him. And Tidal is really not very far behind at all. Just about to enter the final room. Just switching to Taggerson's audio there, because he's ahead. Taggerson is now in the Golden Ridge. So whereas in the previous levels you were dealing with your personal demons and this actual ghost demon, and in Golden Ridge it's just you against the mountain. It's one of the shorter chapters if you can speedrun it well. Golden Ridge is interesting to speedrun because there are a lot of very small skips that just save a little bit amount of time, but they do add up. But it's definitely a hard one to do well consistently. We have these bouncy clouds, they act like trampolines. Taggerson just used them to do one of the dash speed techs off of it, which lets him get a lot of speed and a lot of height off of it. That's pretty cool. Another spike jump by Taggerson there as well. Taggerson following him into Golden Ridge. 2 wall bounces there by Taggerson to get up. I suspect Taggerson is going to now go for a little bit of an auto-scroller skip here. Oh, he actually got squished under that block. I haven't seen that before. So he's going to be retrying that. And here we go. Oh, he missed that too. He got caught on that ledge there, trying to get that bunny hop across. Tidal does have a chance to make up some time here with these deaths. Ooh, another failure. Ooh, that's pretty costly for Taggerson to fail that auto-scroller skip so many times. And he's going for it again, and he got it this time. Very nice. Tidal definitely catching up right now. All right, Taggerson moving along the old trail now. Another death. Not as bad a one as the auto-scroller skip, which Tidal is probably going to be going for right now, so we'll see how he does. Let's see if he can make up some time here. Looks like he's going to be going for the slightly easier strat, but he got it on the first try, so he did save a lot of time there. And Taggerson now entering one of the longer auto-scrollers. This one can't really be skipped RTA. I mean, it's technically possible. It has been done by a human. I don't think we're going to see any runners go for it in the tournament. It's just insane to try to do that. It's really a task strat to try to get past that one. Oh, I apologize. That auto-scroller skip was second try for Tidal. But still saving time, I think. Tidal now on the second auto-scroller skip. Taggerson now in Cliff Face. Cliff Face features very strong wind. You also see these snowballs now. Snowballs, like Oshiro, they come at you horizontally based on where you are. They don't give you as much warning, though, as Oshiro does. A lot of runners have gotten the snowball in their face and ended a screen pretty badly like that. Taggerson making his way pretty well so far. Nice cycle skip by Tidal there to get into the Cliff Face section as well. One of the things about Cliff Face is that the wind is so strong here, it's almost impossible to make any headway without dashing or using speed tech involving dashing. Taggerson just finishing Chapter 4. Very nice. Fortunately, I can't exactly see what that IL timer is saying, but I can tell just by watching them that these runners are on pretty good pace here. All right, as Tidal is finished up the last few rooms of Golden Ridge, Taggerson is now in the Mirror Temple. So we see right off the bat, as usual in Celeste in the new chapter, there are several new mechanics. We have the red bubbles you see right now in Taggerson's screen that move. They're like the blue bubbles in we saw in Chapter 4. I'm not sure I explained those, but they're pretty self-explanatory. But these red bubbles will move infinitely in any direction until you dash out of them, until they hit something. We also have the dash blocks, which, like the traffic blocks in Chapter 1, move along a rail. But these blocks move when you dash, which leads to some pretty interesting kind of puzzle situations sometimes, and can open up a lot of interesting speed tech. Taggerson looks like he's going to go for a pretty... Oh, wow. Okay. He got a big speed boost there, but he didn't quite get the bunny hop that he was looking for. So that skip kind of failed, but he still recovered pretty well. Tidal following right behind, entering the temple. Taggerson taking a little developer-intended skip there. There's actually a secret involving that shortcut to get a secret collectible, but we don't bother with that. We just use it to go faster. Tidal still just a few screens behind. Really keeping up very well. And Taggerson now entering the mirror. So here's where the Mirror Temple starts to get a little spooky. We're first introduced to these Seekers by playing as one. These are some of the more dangerous enemies we're going to see in this game. Wow, moving very quickly through that Seeker section. That was very impressive. So the Seekers are enemies. They track your movement. They try to dash towards you. They're going to try to eat you. So we don't want to be eaten. So let's hope that they can avoid them. Seekers can be used to knock into switches that the runners will need to use in order to progress. So we're going to see some manipulation of these creatures in order to get through these rooms a little bit faster. And Tidal just now entering the mirror as well. Still very close behind. And his IGT timer is a little bit behind as well, so the lead of Taggerson is not as big as it looks right now. Still a very close race. We just saw Taggerson bait one of the Seekers into hitting one of the coins while he collected another one. Nice little speed start there. A little bit of a fumble there. Ooh, and a death. Not a long room. Nice ultra. Another ultra. Didn't quite knock him into the coin, but the explosion of the Seeker respawning did get the coin anyway, so. This is one of the trickier rooms that Taggerson is in right now of the Seeker section. A lot of coins to collect. There's a lot of ways that these strats could go wrong in this room. He did that very nicely. So Taggerson coming out of unraveling and into the search section. This section now includes one of the biggest, probably I guess the biggest time save of this game. He's coming to it right now, and he just got it first try. Basically by doing a couple of tricky movements through that big tunnel of spikes, he is able to completely avoid about 2 minutes of gameplay, 2 to 3 minutes. Tidal now finishing up this final unraveling room, that tricky one. Looks like he's doing okay. We'll see if that Seeker plays along. Pretty close one there. Wow, really playing it close with the Seeker, but he makes it through. Taggerson now going to bait the Seeker into hitting that block so he can collect the coin. And now he's through Search and into Rescue. So Rescue has some of the weirdest movement of the game, because you have to get this Theo who's trapped in the crystal. You have to escort him to the exit. And you can't dash while you're carrying Theo. He slows you down. But you can throw him and then dash and then catch him and do movements like that in order to move quickly through. But it does add a lot of complication to the movement. Tidal is still keeping up really well. He's also just a few screens from entering the Theo section. Taggerson missing that hyper, but still moving along well. He got caught on that ledge, so he didn't get that epic speed boost, but he did make it through that room quite well. Taggerson as dropping Theo there. Nice recovery though. We're seeing a lot of nice recoveries from these players. Big part of doing well in Celeste is being able to improvise when things go wrong, because things are going to go wrong. As we just saw now in Taggerson's screen, ooh, a very nasty death there. That was a very costly one. Just got caught with Theo hitting the wall, and then the Seeker got him. But fine on the second try. This room, Taggerson now in the last room of Mirror Temple. He has to fight through these pulses of energy that are going to try to push him back and kill his momentum. And finally throws Theo into the eyeball to finish off Chapter 5. Very nice. Tidal, meanwhile, working his way about halfway through the Theo section, so still really just a few rooms behind. This is still anyone's race. Very cool to watch such a close race. I mean, Taggerson has kept up his lead pretty much most of the game, but the Tidal has really kept up the entire time. Taggerson now entering Reflection, Chapter 6. So we see right off the bat, one of the new mechanics here is the Feather. One of the most kind of free-flowing techs in the game. The Feather basically allows you to fly omnidirectionally for a period of time. Taggerson now trying for Lake Skip, fails once and then dies on the second attempt, and he gets it on the third try. So he might have lost a little time overusing the Kevin, but I suspect we'll see Tidal go for Lake Skip as well, though we'll see. So unless Tidal gets it on the first try, that's still a pretty nice time save. So along with the feathers in Chapter 6, we also have the Kevin blocks, or Crusher blocks. If you dash into them from the side, they will grumble at you and move very quickly along. So you can get a lot of momentum from them. But they can also crush you if you're not careful, so gotta watch out. Taggerson using a little tech there called the neutral jump to let him get up. Ooh, oh, we just saw a Crusher block live up to its name. Taggerson on the second try succeeding, basically using some speed tech there off the Kevin in order to move that crumbling block out of the way before the Kevin reaches it. Taggerson used his dash a little early there, so he didn't get that wall bounce he wanted at the end, but he recovered okay. Tidal still just a few screens behind. A lot of rooms, I mean, throughout the whole game, but also a lot of reflection. We're going to see a lot of strats that rely on doing hyper dashes into the screen transition, and then using that momentum to clear the room a lot faster. It's a technique that's used a lot throughout the game. Tidal there with the neutral jump. He's going to go for the Kevin Single as well. Actually, he's not going to go for it. That's fine. He actually saved a bit of time there over Taggerson by not trying and failing that strat. Taggerson struggling a little bit with that bumper room. Bumpers are like pinball bumpers. They'll knock you back if you hit them. So you can use them to get ahead, but they can also be a hindrance depending on the room and the situation. Taggerson taking the top route here. In hollows, there are actually multiple routes to take. You usually don't see runners go for the top route in this section, but sometimes they do. The task does save some time there, but most RTA runners find the bottom route faster. But Taggerson got through that room very quickly, so I think he just is more comfortable with the speed strat in that room. Taggerson is finished with hollows with the multi-route section. And he's now going to be entering the starting to enter the getting to the battle line fight. So there are going to be a couple of cool things we're going to see on his side. I suspect we're going to see the developer. Yep, here we go. He's dropping right through these tiny gaps in the crystal. A little developer intended shortcut. Very nice first try, especially that last one. Very tricky to get through. Little brief underwater section. Fun fact that whole chapter 6 is going to be underwater until someone informed Matt that no one actually likes those levels, so thanks to him for cutting most of that out. Oh, some swag there. I think he's going to go for the battle and boost. Here we go. Oh, he got caught on that wall, so that kind of stopped the battle and boost in its tracks. We'll see if Tidal tries to go for it too. It's a pretty cool strat. All right, Taggerson now entering the battle line fight, so we can get our hey-yas into chat now, if you are so inclined. So this is the same entity who chased you in Chapter 2. Now the tables have turned and you're chasing her. So you're going to try to run into her over and over to get into these screens. A pretty long fight. This is the kind of the main story conflict of the game. So you could call this the boss battle. You'll see she has two attacks she can use. She has the fireballs, sometimes double fireballs, and then she has this laser that she'll shoot at you sometimes as well. So just trying to weave in those attacks and get into her face as quickly as possible without getting hit. Looks like Tidal just got a pretty nice battle and boost there, using the momentum off the Kevin to launch himself straight into Battlin's face. So nice save on his part. And I'm just going to mention it again. Tidal is right behind Taggerson. This is still a really close race. Like, Taggerson has kept up his lead the entire time, but this is ridiculously close. Taggerson using momentum to get into the room to get past a very slow start of that room to avoid using that bumper. Very fast movement here. 2 dashes, dashing right into her face just before she could fire that laser. Very close call. A lot of these speed strats rely on some pretty close calls, trying to get right up in her face right before she can fire off whatever she's trying to get at you. Taggerson now entering the phase 2 of the fight, which is mostly the same, but now she's controlling moving blocks that are going to be starting to move back and forth, just to add a little more chaos to the scene. Some spicy hypers off of these moving blocks, using the momentum of the last block to get the height necessary to dash over. And here we have the second to last room of the Battleland fight, I believe. No problems. Last room now. Very long room here. That was a pretty decent death to get in this room because it was right at the beginning. Lots of feather action. Not stopping to get that feather. Oh, wow. That was incredibly close call on that laser. But he made it through. Very nice. And by the way, Tidal now entering phase 2 as well, so he's still very close behind. This is really ridiculous. Taggerson has just leveled up. Basically, he has pink hair now, signifying that he has 2 dashes he can use in the air instead of just 1 before he has to refresh his dash. And we're going to see that used a lot in the summit, which is the final chapter, which is coming up next on Taggerson's screen, and not too long from now on Tidal, who's making his way through the second to last battle and fight room right now. All right, as Tidal mops up the battle and fight, Taggerson is moving into Summit. And Summit is a really cool level. It also the longest level by far in the game. It's about, for runners at this level, I would say that the Summit is probably about 1/3 of the whole run. Oh wow, that was an interesting little skip by Taggerson. I've never seen that before. Totally skipping that spring. So the gimmick of Summit is that you basically are reclimbing the mountain now with 2 dashes. And we're going to go through all of these sections that we've seen before, except the levels are redesigned a little bit more difficult and more spacious, and they're designed for 2 dashes now. So now we have Taggerson entering 500 meters. This is the city section, reminiscent of the first chapter of the game. We have the zippers again. It's very cool to also the soundtrack here has the same melody throughout of the summit, but each section has a different kind of changes to the kind of feel of the tune to reflect each chapter that you've already been through. It's a really nice kind of overture of the whole game that you've been through. And Tidal also, by the way, entering Summit right now, hot on Taggerson's heels. At the end of each of these Summit sections, we're going to be seeing these purple battle line orbs. Ooh, nice save by Taggerson. Missing those dashes, but managing to grab the gem so that he can not die. These orbs, you have to collect them in sequence, and then the last one will boost you up into the next section of the game. So Taggerson now entering 1,000 meters, which is the old site section, so we have the Return of the Dream blocks now. I wonder if we're going to see any of our runners here go for the Dream Hypers, which is a relatively new tech that was discovered where you can actually hyper dash out of the Dream blocks. It's pretty tricky, so I'm not sure we're going to see it. Oh, Taggerson just did it. Very nice. It's a pretty risky strat because it only saves a little bit of time, but if you fail it, you're almost certainly going to die just because of what happens if you fail, which is usually a dash downward, which will kill you in most cases. But Taggerson getting through that very nicely. Kind of mixing in normal movement along with the hypers. Tidal still just 1 section behind as Taggerson moves into Chapter 3 section. Tidal will be moving into the Chapter 2 section. 1,500 meters, the Chapter 3 section, one of the toughest spots of the game, for sure. The cycles come back with a vengeance, and a lot of really hard, tough rooms here. Taggerson making his way so far through with no problem whatsoever. This is a very punishing room with here. It looks like Taggerson is going for the... Oh, he was going for a really spicy cycle skip there, but he did take an unfortunate death. He looks like he's going to go for it again. He does have to wait there for a bit, so he does not quite get the cycle. Didn't quite get the cycle that he wanted, but still getting through that room a second try, very nice. Let's see if he's going to go for the ultras here. I think he is. Oh, he missed the dash gem, so he's going to have to retry there. Very nice ultras, and now a third ultra. Wow, really nice room. That's one of the coolest strats in the game for sure. Getting a little bit impatient, I think. But still doing all right. Only a few screens away from the end of 1,500 as Tidal now finishes up 1,000 meters. Taggerson has managed to maintain his lead this entire game so far, but he's still only a couple of really bad mistakes away from a lead change. So this has really been exciting to watch. having a little trouble getting up there into the berry section here. It's slightly faster to go this route. Tidal finishing up that long 1,500 meter room with no problems. There's a long snowball room here on Taggerson's side. Let's see if he gets through it in one go. Oh, he didn't get his full dashes back on the last one, so he died at the very end. It's unfortunate. He got it on the second try, though. Unfortunately, I missed seeing if Tidal went for the Ultra Strat there in the room. Ooh, Taggerson missing the auto-scroller skip on the first try. He's going to for sure go for it again. Alright, that looks clean this time. So you can get a lot of momentum off that, and then a final little cheeky wall bounce off that little nub there. It doesn't look like it's possible, but it is. And Tidal now in the same section as Taggerson, both in 2,000 meters. Tidal catching up ever so slowly. The casual strat in Taggerson's room right now uses most of those moving platforms. Taggerson just skips them all. We don't need them. Tidal taking a slightly slower route through the big snowball room, but he makes it through in one piece, so that's a success. And a first try auto-scroller script from Tidal. And yeah, he finishes it off okay, so that's going to save him some time as well. Taggerson now in 2,500 meters. A lot of cool skips in this section. Let's see how many Taggerson can get. Wave dash off of that dash block for huge momentum. Oh, he didn't get the double wave dash he was looking for. He's going to try it again. Ooh, again, overshooting it a little bit. He gets it on the third try. Taggerson now going for key skip. It's a little skip that lets you skip a bottom room where you would take a red bubble up. He gets it, death warps back to the entrance. Tidal just about to finish up 2,500 meters. Both in the same section again. Ooh, very nice needle thread by Taggerson there. He's going for door skip. He got part 1. He got part 2. First try door skip. Very nice. Just a 1-second time save, but very swag. Tidal also having some trouble in this double wave dash room. But he takes a slightly safer route there. He didn't die quite as much. Nice key skip from Tidal. And now Taggerson entering 30,000 meters, the final segment of the game. Ooh, nice little hidden wall bounce off of Taggerson. There's a little strat there you can do. There's actually a hidden wall hidden by clouds that you can wall jump off of. Taggerson now in downdraft. We see the wind from Chapter 4 comes back, but this time it's pushing downward. So basically gravity is increased. You can't jump as high, you can't dash as high. It's kind of hampers your movement a little bit. It kind of changes the way the whole movement works, so it's a little hard to get used to. Some trouble there from Taggerson, but he's okay. Tidal finishing up 2,500 meters. He's about to join Taggerson in 3,000 meters. I would say that this lead by Taggerson right now is probably a little hard to overcome at this point, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Taggerson finishing up downdraft, now entering updraft. The wind has stopped moving downward. It's going to start going upward, just as Tidal enters downdraft. So with the updraft, we have lower gravity, higher jumps, floaty or falling. It sounds nice. It can be a little bit of a hamper to speedrunners just because of the slow falling. So occasionally we might see the runners try to fall a little bit faster by holding down And you'll see Madeline get kind of really skinny when that happens. One of the most punishing flags here of the summit. And Taggerson, ooh, nice, kind of a risky upward diagonal dash there, but he makes it just fine. And then with the neutral wall jump around the spikes. Just 10 checkpoints left for Taggerson. This, I'm not sure if Astro.com is up to date, but based on the time there for Taggerson, it looks like he's on a pretty good PB pace right now, actually. And let me just see. I think Tidal as well might be on PB pace. I don't know. I hope chat will let me know if the PBs are not updated. Very nice flag 13 from Tidal. Okay, it looks like it might not be up to date, and that Taggerson already has a 35. So maybe not a PB from him. Still a very nice run. He's finished up pretty soon now. He just hit flag 1, so this is basically the home stretch for him. It looks like he's going to be the winner. But really close race. Wow, it can't really be emphasized enough just how close this race was. Taggerson finishing with a 36-14, I believe that what was that? We'll see it again in just a moment. Uh, 36-14. Tidal just finished at the last few checkpoints here. Really nice race by Taggerson. Really nice run by Tidal. This was really fun to watch. Tidal has to wait a little bit for that dash gem to refresh itself because he missed one of those dashes. But that's fine. He didn't die. And now Tidal in the home stretch. Just mopping up that mountain. And done. Very nice. GG. G freaking G. Let's see if any of our runners want to join us for a post-match interview. I think we will get Taggerson in here in just a moment.
What's up, Birdo?
Hey, Taggerson. GG, man.
Thanks.
That was a great run.
Oh, thank you.
That was really fun to commentate, man. How do you feel?
I feel good even though it wasn't a PB. I finally broke the streak of not being on a race. Three PBs
I
in.
got a little excited because I guess your SRCom score hasn't been updated
Yeah.
yet. So I was like, wow.
I think Jared's just getting flooded right now.
Yeah, understandable. I think I submitted my PB from yesterday and hasn't been accepted yet.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's busy.
I mean, this tournament
Busy for
is
sure.
just generating so many PBs.
Oh yeah, shout out to
So-
Jared. He's doing a great job. He's
Yeah,
doing
that
the
guy is
best that
being
he
run
can.
ragged. Dude, that was a great run.
Thank you.
And let's see, I'm trying to remember particular moments. You got a lot of cool stuff first try. First try Doorskip, nice job on that one.
Oh yes, the most important one, of course.
It was definitely notable how great you were at turning some of these mistakes around. I saw a lot of nice improvisation from you.
Yeah,
Things weren't going well.
I think that's the whole thing with dying a lot. I think my first sub 40, I still had 100 deaths. So I'm definitely working on it. I'm still trying to lower that bad boy, but having 100 deaths and then over 100 deaths, that really gets to you. Like and it's just gotten to the point where I'll know exactly when I need to give up. I'll just be like, boom, retry, and I'll just get right back into it. I don't really let a death get to me at this point.
Yeah, that's a really important skill, to know when you're doomed, when to not bother trying to save it, and when you can save it. Definitely notable, by the way, mentioning the death count, you have 48 deaths in this run. Taggerson finishing about 50 minutes behind you with 15 deaths. Really
That
goes to
seems
show.
to be... I don't understand how I do it, but that seems to be the average. I don't know.
I am totally in the same boat, by the way, man. My PB from yesterday was a 36:15 with about 44 deaths, I believe. So I guess we're sort of... I guess we have similar playstyles.
Yeah, I was definitely the most nervous going into Tidal. Him being third seed, and once we got our groups put together, and I realized I was going against Tidal, and I was like, oh, what's this PB? Oh, it's exactly a minute behind me.
Yeah, that's why I was really excited to commentate this race, just because looking how close the PBs were. And by the way, Tidal was right behind you the entire run, literally the entire run. I mean,
man.
There weren't really any lead changes. You did manage to keep ahead the entire time, but like Tidal was like never more than like a minute behind you. It was really cool.
Yeah, that 15 deaths. I'm really impressed with the 15 deaths. That's amazing. I can't imagine myself getting 15 deaths.
Yeah, I'd say probably time for Tidal to start upping his speed strats a bit.
I think honestly, yeah, I think that's one of the key reasons is why I'm dying a lot, is because I'm always looking for new strats. I'm always stealing new strats. I'll see Bye-Bye do like this crazy thing. I'm like, I can do that. So then I'll just immediately throw it into my run, no practice at all. I just want to get everything in my run.
Yeah,
so
especially those ones that look so cool, like that.
Yeah, for example, I actually did put practice, but David Deku, he did this insane. I was absolutely impressed with his temple. And I was like, I want to do that. So I put some time into it. I didn't get it. I did not get it, but I tried my heart out on getting that.
Are you talking about the corner boost to
the triple
that
ultra?
Room? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that I was so astonished with that. I was like,
I did see that.
I gotta get that in there.
It was a valiant attempt. So GG, man, that was a great race. Thanks so much for racing for us.
Oh, thank you.
And congrats on your win.
Oh, thank you again.
I don't see Tidal in chat. I'm not sure if he's going to be joining us or not.
Oh well. I don't know if he PB'd or not.
I'm not sure. Being that SRCom is so behind date right now, I don't really want to say one way or another.
Okay, understandable. Yeah, GG's to Tidal. Did great, man.
I don't know GG's to Tidal.
I don't know how close he was behind me, because I don't really like to watch the stream, but yeah, if he was really that close behind me, then I'm glad to put on a good race.
By the end of the run, you were usually about 500 meters ahead of him.
Okay, so he was right on me.
Yeah, I mean, you were slowly increasing your lead as the run went on, but very slowly.
All right. Yeah, that's how I like to run.
Very cool to watch. Thanks for the great race, man.
Of course.
And thanks to all the viewers. Thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting this great tournament. Thanks to the runners. Follow the runners. Do it. It's good for your soul.
Yeah.
Follow Speed Gaming. Subscribe to Speed Gaming. Anyway, I guess I don't have that much more to say. Right. So, unless you have any final words, Taggerson.
Shoutouts to Revo for being
I'm just
really
getting word from chat that Tidal did PB. So let's get some PB hype for Tidal by about 30 seconds. 30-second PB.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, heck yeah. I'm not a cusser. Oh, what's up, Tidal?
How's it going?
Oh, hey, man. Welcome. GG, Tidal. Great job on the PB there.
Thanks, man. Feels good.
Oh, do you think you could speak up or increase your microphone a little bit? It's very hard to hear you.
He's working on it.
Yeah, I get it.
Is this better?
It's a little bit better.
Just
We
slightly.
can pretty much hear what you're saying.
Yeah, you rock, man.
Yeah, man, you go crazy though.
That's what I like to do.
How do you feel, Tidal?
I feel like I'm finally getting to the point where I need to start doing the hard strats.
Yeah, we were just mentioning that 15 deaths, dude. That is extremely low death count, and a great time for that. But with a death count like that, you could be getting like 31s if you were doing some really tough strats.
Yeah, but that's kind of been my mindset while speedrunning this game. Is just start out with some base strats, get really good at them, push myself, and then when it's time, I feel like I have those strats down. It's time to challenge myself again with some new, harder stuff.
That sounds like a great play style and way to improve. I usually go a little more YOLO myself, but I definitely appreciate that slow and steady approach, and not really very slow once you get good at it. And I did see some great movements from you for sure. I don't know. I expect you probably weren't really following the race as you were in it, because that would be crazy. But I just want to let you know you were pretty much right behind Taggerson the entire race. You were just a little bit behind him the whole time. You're really keeping up a great pace. Great
We
job.
don't have a 10 o'clock, do we?
I don't think there's a 10 o'clock on this
Okay, good.
on this
Good.
channel, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, that's good, because I know we got delayed for a little bit there. Just some issues with the stream, I guess.
Yeah, I double checked on the schedule beforehand, and I didn't see anything else on this channel,
Okay,
so
that's
I think
good.
we're chill.
Yeah, shout out to Cyclone, getting that stuff fixed as soon as he can.
Yeah,
He got
great
it
job.
fixed pretty much immediately, just a couple minutes, and he had it done.
Yeah, we really appreciate the Speed Gaming staff and everything that they're doing in order to keep this tournament running smoothly. So, what are you guys' next goals for this tournament?
Sub 30. Nah, for
Good
real.
luck with that.
Yeah, I do want to get the 32. The 32 is very interesting.
What's your PB currently, if I may ask?
My PB is a 35.44 right now.
All right. Good luck getting that 32.
I really want to work for it. I want to get everything in there.
How about you, Tidal?
I mean, right now I'm just looking to, finish the group stage with the best average time possible. I guess I played the 1 seed, the 2 seed, and I was the 3rd seed in my group, so I'm feeling
nice.
pretty good going against the other matches.
Yeah, getting the hard ones out of the way early.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was debating between delaying Taggerson, because we're like the closest out of any two for me in this group. So I didn't know if I wanted to try to make up some ground first. But I think it was fun doing it right now. But here on out, I guess I'll just be trying to make that average time as small as possible, so
Right.
I have better seating in bracket.
Sometimes I think racing against a slightly better runner can help you a little bit by putting that pressure on yourself. But I mean, you can't count on that every time.
Yeah, every time I've raced, I've gone against somebody better than me, so I think that's why I didn't PB. I just didn't have that motivation, man. No, for real. Tidal was really close. He kept me going.
Were you
Yeah.
watching the stream?
No, I heard the stuff. I'm definitely going to watch it later, because everybody's making it sound like it was really close.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't close in the sense of like lead changes all the time, but it was like basically it was a situation where like Taggerson, any like 1 or 2 big mistakes from you could have lost your lead potentially, up until I guess Summit, where the lead grew a little bit. But still, you guys were you guys even shared space in 2,500 meters, 2,000 meters. You were finishing up Taggerson as Tidal was entering it and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, we
very
were
close to each
we
other.
were working it then.
Great race, guys. Really fun. Thank you so much.
Yep, good game.
Thank you for having us.
All right. I think that pretty much wraps it up. So thanks to all the viewers. And as I said, follow the runners, follow Speed Gaming. Tooting my own horn, follow the commentators. We're cool too. And I think that'll about do it. So have a great night, everyone.